All right, good afternoon, class, and welcome to week number 7. That is right, week number 7 of your 9449 class, which is your business reference class, business services to entrepreneurial communities, or whatever the formal name is. It's your business class. That's what this class is. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin, and we are going to keep this one rather brief this week, because what we are going to be doing is this is your working week. So I know it probably, and I've said this before in the class, it's probably a little weird to have the working week be the next to the last week instead of the last week. But what I wanted you all to do is kind of be able to delegate and assign tasks this week. So if you can get up with your groups this week, kind of dissect tasks up and then decide who's going to do what, and then you can use the rest of this week and next week in order to complete the task as assigned. So that's why things are working out the way that they are, and I hope nobody was too terribly confused by that. But I thought if I waited to the last week to make that the working week, or the week that you delegate tasks and all those things, then I thought that might be too late because your other exams are coming, and again, you would only have a limited amount of time to complete everything and that sort of thing. So I went on ahead and made it this week. So your readings are actually kind of light this week. So they should be, this is where we want to be. All right, so your readings are going to be kind of light this week. Let's go to the syllabus here. And as you can see, when we scroll down, week 7, May 1st through 7th, business plan resources. Well, you should have already started on things. You know, this is sort of a week to delegate tasks and do work. You're going to this week visit the small business administrations, write your business plan page. You're going to also access this. You do not have to read this book verbatim, just so we're clear. You do not have to read this book verbatim. You do not need to read this week's content verbatim. So you don't have to read this verbatim. It's sort of go in there, look around, and see if you are, and see if it, you know, clears up some questions you have and that sort of thing. And then this is also another resource that you can use. You do have optional readings, but you don't have to do them, hence why they're optional. I think that's even the definition of the word. All right, and then when it comes to the discussion board prompt, you've got one, NetAdvantage. You've got a worksheet on that, and several of you have already done that. So yes, again, it's a working week. So go ahead and do some work, put some work in. Don't get too stressed out. You've got the whole week to, you know, just kind of talk to your classmates, to your teammates, I should say, and get something working. Just get something working. Get a plan going, get some ideas going of exactly how you're going to tackle this, and then just go in, execute, and do it between this week and next week. Okay. So that's pretty much how things are working, and now we are going to review our worksheet. So let's go ahead and make me small here, and we're going to go back into quizzes. And we are going to go into the Yahoo Finance quiz. And you all did just fine with the Yahoo Finance quiz. I did adjust some of the grades today after reconsidering some things that I was doing. So everyone got at least, I believe, a 4 point. No, everybody got at least a 4. I'm sorry. There are some 4s, there are some 4.5s, and there's some 5s, and then some people got bumped up to a 4.5 or a 5 today. So you all did just fine. I hope you enjoyed doing the Yahoo Finance worksheet, but you all did just fine on it. And so let's go over those answers now. So we're going to be doing this with Estee Lauder. So the ticker symbol is EL. What is the recommendation trend for Estee Lauder on the day you're doing this worksheet, and how did you find that information? I am actually going to change the wording of this question for future classes. I'm probably going to just make it, instead of recommendation trend, I'm going to have them do recommendation rating. But in our case, you all had, for the most part, with the exception of a few of you, but for the most part, you all had acceptable answers to this. Now, the answer that I was really looking for was going to be, let's go ahead and let's let the page populate first. Come on. Okay. So we put in EL, and it gets us to Estee Lauder, so we're here. And if you scroll down, you will see, you've got a lot of helpful information there, but if you scroll down, you'll see recommendation trends and recommendation rating. Again, I think I am going to change this comment to this question to recommendation rating for future classes. But for you all, it would have been recommendation trend. And for most of you, what you're going to be looking for is actually which number is the highest number on the trend, which color code, I should say, is the highest number on the trend. So for April, you were looking at buy. There were some hold and some strong buy ratings, but you're really looking at buy. And it was starting to underperform. And so that's why in May you are seeing some things drop down there because of the underperformance in March and April. But still, the recommendation would still be to buy. In fact, I would say that now, because it's lower, it's better to buy it now than it would have been in April. I do believe it's probably going to rebound back up. But if this recommendation rating were lower, then that would give more confidence that it's going to go back up. So again, I was kind of looking for buy or some variant, but also if you put the recommendation rating, which several of you did, I accepted that. If you gave me a breakdown of these numbers, I accepted that as well. So again, that did take everybody up to either a 4.5 or a 5 with just a couple of exceptions. And if you're one of those exceptions, don't feel bad. It's okay. It is okay. All right. Anyway, we are going to go to number 2. So what is the beta figure for Estee Lauder and how did you find this? And then also, what is a beta? You can Google that, but you can also, it's actually right here on your landing page. So I did a Control F to find beta, and that is our beta right there. Now you can go ahead and do what is a beta figure in stocks. Let's do it that way. So what beta means, and then you've got this. And this is the most important thing to know here. A beta greater than 1 suggests that the stock is more volatile than the broader market. And if the beta number is less than 1, then that indicates the stock is of lower volatility than the broader market. So that's what your beta is, and you can get your beta rating right there on the landing page. You don't have to go searching for it too bad. How many full-time employees does Estee Lauder have, according to Yahoo Finance, and how did you find this information? So information like that is typically going to be in your company profile in any database, or something that sounds like it's profile-ish. So if you go to profile here, you can click that tab and then you will see your full-time employees right there, which is 44,730. And so that is the answer to that. And we are cooking with grease and moving right along. What was Estee Lauder's adjusted close on March the 1st, 2023? And where did you find this information? So that is historical data because we're now in May. We were in April when you took this. So we are now in May. And so if you're looking for that March figure, you just scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. And we were looking for what date again? That was going to be March the 1st. So we can scroll to March 1. And we have our figures here for March 1. And let's actually see which column we're looking at. We wanted the adjusted close. So that's going to be this guy here, the next to the last one. So when we're looking at March the 1st, we're looking for that. And the figures are actually the same here for close and adjusted close. And in both cases, it is 245.83. So that would have been your answer there. And then finally, who is the top mutual fund holder for Estee Lauder? How many shares do they hold and how did you find that information? You will scroll back up here and you will go to holders. And holders is going to be where you find information on holders holding information. And I believe everybody got this right. The answer is Vanguard. Now, and again, I believe everybody got Vanguard right. Now, as far as the number of shares, I do believe that, okay, never mind. So that's going to be your number of shares there. And so, yeah, according to my notes, I believe everybody got that right. So you had and there are several Vanguards, but as long as you got Vanguard, were those mutual funds? I'm sorry. Okay, so that's why I confused myself. I was looking at something and something wasn't clicking. That's the reason why. Okay, let me look at this again. I'm sorry. So top mutual fund holders. I was looking at the wrong thing. My apologies. So top mutual fund holders. Dr. Chase has his moments too. It's not just y'all. Again, if you put any variant of Vanguard, I actually took it. So most of you actually did put this whole thing in here, Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. But if you put Vanguard, some of you just put Vanguard as the name. I took it. And then everybody had that number of shares, because I was looking at that number of shares and I was like, hold up, it wasn't this many shares. So I apologize for the airy moment that I had there, my little airhead moment. But yes, this is what everybody had, and this was correct. So everybody got that correct. So you all did not struggle with Yahoo Finance at all, and I'm glad to hear that. And yeah, so go ahead and do your prompt for the week, your discussion board prompt, and then also do your worksheet for Net Advantage. And then from there, also, what you got to do is work with your groups and make time to work with your groups and lay the groundwork for that final. And that's pretty much what you have to do to please Dr. Jason this week. So it's not asking a whole heck of a lot. Anyway, with that said, let me take it out right now so that you all can go ahead and do what you've got to do. I am Dr. Jason. You have almost completed this race. Got 2 more weeks. Later.